Okay, so I have 48 seconds of storage left. I am coming to you from a nasty bathroom in Bart. I'm sweating. Yes, I know I'm wearing too much, but I'm also sweating because of the fucking results. Like, I just saw it go from blue to red in North Carolina. I saw her lose Florida. Florida's still up for grabs, but it's leaning red, and I bet my 40 seconds are up. Happy Halloween! My room is kind of a mess, but that's normal. First time that I voted, kids, was 2008. Yes, I'm 26, by the way. 8 years ago, I was 18, and I was voting for the first time. And I remember there being two propositions, and they were about, like, do we allocate money for the fairgrounds? I did not vote on that because I don't care. I didn't do my research, and if the money didn't go to fairgrounds, where would it go? Would it go to somewhere more worthy or less? I didn't know. So 2012 was better. I did more research, but not enough. There was one proposition about the 3 strikes law. Yes or no, do we revise the 3 strikes law? And I was thinking, revise it how? Would revising it make it worse, or would it make it better? Because it's not enough to just say, oh, I don't like the 3 strikes law. At this point in time, I was voting in person. I didn't have a smartphone, so I couldn't just like whip out my phone and be like, okay, this proposition on the 3 strikes law, does saying yes make it better or worse? So I regret not voting on that because I was confused about what exactly I was voting on. Part of the reason for my confusion this year is because, as with politics in general, you have something that you agree with on the surface, and then when you peel back the layers, it ends up being fucking terrible. So I thought that it would be a good idea for me to watch all 14 episodes of Eyes on the Prize, just watch them in order. I think that I've almost finished episode 9. I was like 10 minutes until the end of the episode and I had to run off and do something else. But I think episode 6 is the episode on Selma, and you just think, like, they fought really hard to get that right to vote, and gotta use it. You gotta use it. You know, despite lynchings and whatnot, they knew that the vote was very important to them. So I can't complain too much, although I will still complain. I'm not going to complain about, oh, there's so many propositions, because that should be a good thing that I have some, say in how things are run in my state and in this country and locally and so forth. We'll complain about the problem that I just mentioned earlier before, about how some things look good and then you peel back the surface and it looks terrible, and it's like you have no good options. It feels like this with the general election, right? Where if you vote for one of these two people, or if you vote third party, or if you stay home or whatever, no matter what, you have blood on your hands and it sucks. There's no way to wash it off. And then people say, oh, well, just vote down the tickets, don't just vote for presidents. I know that the choices aren't very exciting, but you can vote for other things. And then you look at the other things and it's like, oh, those suck too. So because I requested to vote by mail twice, I ended up with 2 ballots. I don't know which one to vote with yet, so I'm gonna have to contact, somebody in my county. So yesterday I was at this bookstore. It's the Modern Times bookstore. It's closing down in like a week and a half or something, and I picked up this San Francisco League of Pissed Off Voters. We're not talking about the presidential race because you don't need us to tell you who to vote for president. This year's bruising primary season hovered up everyone's energy and sparked endless toxic infighting. Enough already, okay? Yes. So it basically says downvoting is important, and we're actually going to talk about that, which I agree with. I like how with the propositions it goes from like, yeah, sure, whatever, to like, hell yes, like repeal the death penalty, Prop 62, hell yes. And then there's legalization of marijuana, voting for that. The one that I'm most excited for is Prop 58, allow multilingual education in public schools. I think it's ridiculous how like people are like, here in America we speak English, and I'm like, do you not know that it's possible for people to speak more than one language at a time? And like, why would you want less knowledge instead of more knowledge? You should want everyone to be educated on, like, if there's an opportunity for somebody to be bilingual, that should be nurtured. That should not be treated as some sort of disability. So I'm voting yes on that one. Yeah, and then the death penalty ones, I'm a little worried that I'll mix it up when I'm actually voting. I'm gonna have to like check over it like a few times, because there's one that says repeal the death penalty. I agree with that. And then there's one that says kill them faster, basically like limit the amount of times they can appeal, and it's like, that's evil, I think. And it's Prop 66, and it says right here, are you fucking kidding me? No. Exactly. So at the back here it says hang out with the league, which I think sounds cool. I need friends, you know. It seems like whoever put this together might be fun to hang out with. So this is upsetting, but not entirely surprising. I remember when Obama was re-elected, we were like so anxious right up until like 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's like, oh, you got California done. You're welcome for those 55 electoral votes, by the way. But I was thinking about it earlier today, and it's like, okay, well, if people are saying that she wouldn't be able to win against any normal Republican, I was thinking, say if Hillary were to win, and 4 years from now, she'd be running up against another Republican, probably not Donald Trump, maybe, I don't know. Then that person will win. We might end up with 8 years of that Republican, so I don't know. It's like, I really don't want him to be president. I don't want either of them to be president. This fucking sucks. But maybe this will give us a chance to rebuild the Democratic Party, because I maintain what I said last time. The blame does not go to third-party voters. No. The blame goes to the Republican Party for being so fucking awful, but also to the Democrats for not providing a good alternative and for fucking over their voters in primary season. Not just what happened in California, what happened in New York, what happened amongst like independent voters. It's like, you had a candidate who swing voters loved, who independent and third-party voters loved, and you toss that aside. Of course this happened. Of course. I don't know. I don't even want to say maybe it'll get better next time. It's like 4 years. That's a long time. Or 8 years. Like, fuck. We're fucked. Okay, this is weird. I went to bed and then I'm like, I can't sleep. So, I'm not surprised, but it's more of a feeling of shock that this thing that I imagined in my head came true. Because who the hell imagines that Ronald Reagan would become president. I don't know because I was not alive in 1980, but I imagine that, you know, he's not a politician, he's an actor. But he got elected, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was the governor even running against? I don't know, but I do know that he had this cool name, which was the governor. Even though he groped women, he was a Republican, and he won a Democratic state. So I think that the power of celebrity goes a very long way. My new roommate even said, oh, well, Hillary is a politician. It's like, well, yeah, that's because the person who becomes president is running to be a politician. Like, you wouldn't say, oh, they shouldn't get a job as a CEO. They're such a CEO. We need a janitor. No, you need a fucking CEO to do a CEO job. Like, I understand the criticisms as a career politician, but to think that Trump is better because of he's not qualified. Okay. Another thing, I'm really disappointed about this, not just about the results, but about how the left is dealing with this. There's no talk about how the DNC shot its voters, shot itself in the foot, fucked up this political party, ruined the trust that the voters had in this party. And now they're blaming third-party voters, and it's like, he would have won anyway. And then they're like, oh, if you voted third party, you're dead to me. How about if you voted third party, maybe you have similar values as me, maybe you didn't live in a swing state, and maybe whatever the hell happens, we all have to fight together. We all have to fight together, and not just fight the people who have the least amount of power. Now is the time to fix our party, to make it work for the people, not for corporations. But instead, people are like I understand, I don't want to say throwing a temper tantrum, because your rage is real, it's justified, you should absolutely be angry. I'm pissed off, but we need to think about how we're going to channel that rage. How are we going to direct that rage in a way that is constructive, and that is not by burning bridges, that's not by blaming people who have very little power. It's by saying, we need to work together. If we understand this to be the root of our problems, we need to address it together. That's what we need to do, okay? So, yeah, sorry for... I'm not completely naked, by the way, but I am going to bed. It's 10. Like, I just want to call it a sick day. Like, my anxiety is, like, I've been anxious for a while now.